Good afternoon, all, and welcome to another edition of the Sal Greco Show. I'm your host, Sal Greco. Obviously, you see on the screen my good friend, Cozy. This is Cozy Wellness, who's got the boots on the ground in New York City. There's so much to us to tackle today. So, Cozy, welcome back to the Sal Greco Show. How are you? And I know you got a lot to say because there's a lot going on. So,
yeah, it's a crazy time to be alive. We have insanity happening from all angles. We have betrayers, we have backstabbers, we have people with low freaking just I don't know what to say, man. Just no spine.
low integrity, or they could be bought, or they work for someone and that someone tells them what to do. I think that's kind of what's been happening here. Folks, if you are watching us right now on YouTube, please hit that like, share, subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. If you're on Rumble, hit the like button, hit the Rumble button. And if you're watching us live right now, streaming on X, please hit that like button and share this out to all your friends. And I'm sure there's quite a few that are in the low information bubble, because there's a lot of them that are in the low information bubble today. They have been in the last few weeks. So there's a lot going on. Before I get to the videos, I get all my information. I don't know if you noticed, Cozy, on Free Spoke. That's an app. So let's play our sponsor for today and tell you all how to download and join the Free Spoke revolution. I know you surf the internet and you search for things on a search engine and you don't get what you're looking for. Well, I have a solution for you, and that's Free Spoke. Free Spoke is a search engine that does everything without all the restrictions and all the censorship, and there's no porn ads. Free Spoke is about authenticity rather than agendas. Labels media bias, no intrusions or data leaks. No porn ads, like I said, unlimited, unbiased AI. Also, deep dive podcasting. You can look it up. Go to freespoke.app.link/Greco. Download the app. You could also use the same link to get 35% off the premium subscription, which would be well worth it. Try it out. freespoke.app.link/Greco. There you have it, folks. And Greco 35, you use that as your code. You get 35% off the subscription on there. I use it. If you search things for AI right now, you might want to go on Free Spoke and type in what's going on with the election, because if you go everywhere else, you're going to hear a lot of propaganda right now, and it's nonstop. But obviously, there's an 800-pound elephant in the room, Cozy. So I'm going to play this first video we have, and I believe it's the illustrious president of the United States, who, so much could be said about this guy. But let's hear what he had to say on 60 Minutes.
De Blasio is the worst mayor.
But what if Mondami becomes mayor?
It's going to be hard for me as the president to give a lot of money to New York, because if you have a communist running New York, all you're doing is wasting the money you're sending there. So I don't know that he's won, and I'm not a fan of Cuomo one way or the other, but if it's going to be between a bad Democrat and a communist, I'm going to pick the bad Democrat all the time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Cozy, he's forgetting there's a Republican in that race, who won't be doing his bidding if he was elected, and that's what this is really all about. Look at this. We must also remember this: a vote for Curtis Lewa, who looks much better without the berets. A vote for Mamdani. Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mamdani is not. That is coming from Mr. MAGA himself, President Trump. What can we say about MAGA other than the whole thing is completely fractured, starting with his dropping of the very serious case of Eric Adams. I told you right then and there, this was a wall and the foundation is starting to crumble. And here we go. Now he wants you, Cozy, a Republican, a conservative, someone who's been there for medical freedom. He wants you to swallow your pride, lose your integrity, and vote for the guy who destroyed the state, was basically locking people up if you were outside during COVID, right? He wanted your businesses shut down. People lost their businesses. People lost their homes. People lost their jobs. Now, and by the way, this guy made millions writing a book and going on CNN on his brother's TV show where they were just talking about Trump all day and night. Ratings, money, you name it, they made it. He wants you to vote for that guy. Oh, by the way, his DOJ / Republican Congress has some kind of looming indictment or investigation over Andrew Cuomo's head. We're supposed to forget about that. As a Republican, you vote for the Democrat who did that all to you. What do you say to that, Cozy?
It's unbelievable. It's disrespectful. It's a slap in the face to people like me. I lost my job. People got kicked out of schools. People were forced to wear masks. It goes on, right? This guy he's responsible for the high crime, right? With the bailout stuff, bailout reform. He's basically championed that thing, right? He's the one who passed it. He's a loser from top to bottom. And then we have Trump, right? I caught Trump out there because yesterday when he said, at least we'll have somebody who's successful, right? He did a successful job. Pretty much I'm paraphrasing, but he said something about successful Cuomo. Meanwhile, I pull up a tweet from 2020, and this is what Donald Trump said on 10/19/2020. Governor Cuomo has shown tremendously poor leadership skills in running New York. Bad time for him to be writing and promoting a book. So here he is clearly saying how he's a loser, unsuccessful, and now he's saying he's successful. Which one is it, Donald? And exactly, why are we forgetting the Republican in the room? The guy with integrity. And I think it has to do with what you kind of just said. Maybe it's because Curtis Lewa is clean and he won't have anything to get him on, right? If you have something on Cuomo, maybe he could be manipulated a lot better, right? Maybe he needs a scumbag to be able to manipulate. I don't know what the case is. I know there's also a lot of money to be made. Cuomo is friends with the developers. He's friends with pharma. Trump loves pharma. Trump loves developers, right? He's a real estate fucking tycoon, right? So there's a lot of things. It's more than just that. There's layers and layers and layers. But I mean, it's pretty disgusting to see all these cowards, Sid Rosenberg, Katzimatidis, Bill Ackman. Then you have, certain politicians, New York politics. I'm not going to sit here and name them all, but you cowards know who you are. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Because that fear you have, that unreasonable fear you have of Mamdani, right, taking over and all this stuff, all that energy should have been put into Sliwa, and Sliwa would have easily wiped the floor with Mamdani if you did that. But you didn't. You're telling people to vote for a loser, a scumbag like Andrew Cuomo, who harassed women, resulted in all these elderly deaths, the lockdowns, the medical tyranny, all of that. How can you even consider that?
I'm speechless at what, but I told you all this was coming. First of all, he endorsed Eric Adams. I don't know if you people remembered it. Whether it was soft endorsing, he said, I played that clip a while ago when he was at a press conference in Florida, and he mentioned Eric Adams, a nice guy, and I helped him out a little bit. That line, I helped him out a little bit when he loses next year, because he's already posting about losing the midterms. So talk about predicting the future. This guy already knows what's happening. He will be impeached. And with that, his sons will be on the investigation, and rightfully so, because whatever business deal, whatever they did for Eric Adams, that showed. Look, I come from a criminal background. I don't come from this politics stuff. All right. This right here. I mean, look at this with Tom Homan, all this nonsense that was going on. Tom Homan, who took money, apparently that investigation getting shoved under the rug. This has become such a highly political politicized Justice Department, everything else with it. Like, this is not what people voted for. And he's talking about gas prices going down, and if you want to vote for affordability, he said that this morning, vote Republican, except in New York City, where you have a guy running for mayor who destroyed the city and made it unaffordable, and that's who he's saying to vote for. And again, this goes back to the real estate development. Eric Adams, of course, the reason he let him off his charges, what did he do? He passed that Bally's casino bid through city council. Now it's up for that final vote in another month. If that goes through and they become one of the casinos that get the license in the state, that means that Trump gets $115 million. And that was what it was always all about. That is a serious thing that people could look into. If you can't impeach him, his sons definitely, they run a Trump organization. You could run amok on them. And it's out in the open. I mean, I pointed this out a million times. And then all he did was flip to the next guy, which was Cuomo. Mr. City of Yes, just like Eric Adams, just like Mamdani. There's all the real estate people, John Katz, Bill Ackman, Trump. He has this other guy too, who's the Israel envoy, that other guy. He was the guy that brought Eric Adams to West Palm Beach. They're all involved in real estate, and that's all they care about. And as far as I'm seeing, the MAGA, you remember that, we were all started in 2015 and 2016, has been overtaken by guys like Bill Ackman. Their money buys everything in the end. Anything's for sale. I mean, look what he says here, Bill Ackman. This is not a time to take a risk on Zohran Mamdani, a mayoral candidate who wants to shut down the NYPD's anti-terrorism unit and has expressed nothing but disdain for New York City's finest. And then Adams lied about this stuff. Fewer money, what is it? Number of shootings down. No, they don't count shootings, Cozy, unless it hits a human being. Shootings don't matter unless it hits a human being. So if they're shooting at people and it doesn't hit anything, that doesn't count. Oh, and by the way, Steve Witkoff, that's the name. Steve Witkoff is another guy who's a real estate magnate, who's behind the scenes. This is what's going on here. So, is it surprising? No. This presidency is definitely not the first 4 years of Trump, and comparing him to anyone like Abraham Lincoln and stuff is laughable, especially when I lived through President Ronald Reagan, and he still can't shine his shoes. That's how I'm going to say about Mr. President Trump. I don't know if you have any final thoughts on that, because I got more videos to show you that's going to get you even more upset.
Keep going with the videos, because we already know. You already know how I feel about this.
Yeah. So I guess Zohran Mamdani woke up or was out last night. I think he was out, and he responded to President Trump. And we have that clip for you with Zohran Mamdani. See what he has to say.
Donald Trump just put out a statement encouraging New Yorkers, saying they must vote for Andrew Cuomo. We know and have known for months that Donald Trump would favor Andrew Cuomo as the mayor. They share the same donors. They share the same small vision. They share the same sense of impunity. And yet in these final days, what was rumored, what was feared has become naked and unabashed. The MAGA movement's embrace of Andrew Cuomo is reflective of Donald Trump's understanding that this would be the best mayor for him. Not the best mayor for New York City, not the best mayor for New Yorkers, but the best mayor for Donald Trump as his administration. And for all those who question the feasibility of fighting for working people, we speak often about free buses, which costs about $700 million. I would invite you to look at another man who endorsed Andrew Cuomo today, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, for whom it only took $959 million in tax breaks from Andrew Cuomo when he was the governor for his pet projects to get that endorsement. Yep. More money than it would cost to make every single bus free in this city. So the question is not how we will pay for it, but whether we want to pay for it.
Yeah.
they handed him this political football now. And as much as a lot of what he's saying is not entirely true, he does have a point to, he's got something there, what he's saying, because it's clear when Elon Musk and Trump come out, and it's been, but you've seen the drumbeat because you mentioned the Sid Rosenbergs and the Greg Kellys and all these other people, and it's like a coordinated media thing. It's basically henchmen of Trump goes after Curtis Lewa, and you see, you need to drop out. You need to do this. You need to do that. Well, you need to get your head up Trump, get your head out of Trump's ass. How about that? This guy's only there for like 3 years. Maybe he'll be crippled by next year. Like, I don't know what everybody's like enamored with this thing, other than either it's profitable or it's clout chasing. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on what Mamdani said?
Well, he has a point with the same funders, most likely, right? I'm not verifying each and every one. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they have the same funders. It's business, man. These are business deals that are being done. Cuomo is the swamp that Trump was talking about. Cuomo is the swamp of New York. He knows how to cover up corruption, right? Even if he gets caught, nothing happens to him. Look what happened with the nursing home deaths. Nothing came out of it. This guy should be in jail. All these harassment cases. What happened? They dropped. Like, listen, this guy is such a swamp creature that he doesn't get in trouble for anything he does. That goes to show you a lot, right? If it was me or you doing this stuff, we'd be in jail for life.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, a lot of our viewers here and, the people we know, we are well aware of this stuff, but it's everyone else. They're fear-mongering. There's fear-mongering videos out there that it's Dov Hikind, who disgraced himself at the age of 71, making fear-mongering videos, is ridiculous. I mean,
listen, I just want to say that whoever right now is still backing Curtis Lewa, I'm very proud of you. You guys are the real deal. Sal, you, John Macari, everybody here, Eric Dim, Marlon, your whole show, everybody out here listening right now, who still, after all this manipulation, all this brainwashing, all the money being thrown at them, all the threats, because I know what's going on. I know people who've gotten the phone calls. I know people who've been pressured. I know them. And what I'm telling you right now is I'm grateful for you New Yorkers who see the truth and can see that light. Okay? Keep shining that light, because at the end of this, right now, God is showing us who the imposters are. God is showing us who all the frauds are, who the spineless people are. People without courage. They're being seen. Okay? We're seeing it right now. And we're calling them out. And that's our job, to call them out. And what's going to happen? The public, after all settles, all the dust settles, the public's going to see who the true people are, and they're going to know who the true leaders are. The leaders are me and you. Look in the mirror. You're the leader. Don't take your lead from Donald Trump. There's a lot of MAGA crazy lunatics. And listen, I support a lot of what Trump was doing, but I also don't support a lot that he does do, right? And listen, you can't just follow somebody blindly. Just because Trump told you to vote for Cuomo, you don't do it. You look what's in your heart, you look what's in your spirit, and you use your freaking common sense. These guys are going to destroy New York. Andrew Cuomo showed you who he was. He's not going to change. He's going to keep doing what he's doing, and it's going to be even worse this time, because now you actually went up to him and you actually begging for his rule. And you know what you're going to get? A kick in the teeth and the kick in the nuts.
Right here, it's Chronicle Collapse says COVID lockdowns and mandates prove there's no shortage of spineless people in New York City. I was there for that whole time.
Could you imagine begging for your abuser to lead you again? Begging for your abuser. And I'm not mincing words here. He abused New Yorkers. He abused women. He abused the elderly. He abused you, like we said, locking you down, muzzling you, telling you to shut up, telling conservatives to get out of New York. And you I don't know if I could curse on your show, but you freaking losers begging for this tyrant. Please save me. Please save me. You're going to get kicked in the nuts, and you're going to deserve it.
It's Stockholm syndrome. Connors will collapse.
There you go.
Is right.
There you go.
I see Mickey McMurphy. He's always in here too. He says fear mongering refuses to denounce the globalization of the Intifada. Sal, a little disappointed in you. I've heard this over and over again. Just so you know, like 25% of the Jewish population backs Mamdani and gave him money. You're being played for some, I don't know what it is. You're going to see that he's a corporatist and he's being funded by rich people. And that all this was done is all this fear mongering is what elevated him to levels and heights that no one ever imagined this guy would reach. Because he was at 1% in March or April or May, one of those months, I remember. He had no chance before Cuomo and Adams and all these other people made him into this rock star overnight. So, yeah, he should say something. Does it really matter when, there's laws in his country and there's checks and balances? So you're not starting a holy war. It's going to be, there's people go to jail. Like this is just this is not London. England has different laws. It's a different system than it is here. So that stuff shouldn't ever to say it's going to happen in New York City. That's the biggest city in this whole country. It's not even feasible to think, because that would mean then there's going to be a complete collapse of the entire system, the Justice Department, everything. We're just going to let holy war take place in the street. That's what I'm saying. You're being gaslit, and you actually, some of you voted on that, and you dropped any kind of integrity you had, and you became a low information voter overnight because they said, "Oh my God, this video of double hiking stuff is hilarious." It's just, to me, I'm laughing, saying, "How can anyone fall for this?" But there are people that fell for it, and then you're gonna see if this guy is to get in, how close he's gonna be with certain people, and you're gonna say, "Wait a minute, none of that ever happened." And in making things about religion again, that is a losing campaign. That is people do not like that. I mean, here you go. Globalized Intifada in the nightclub. I mean, what other mayor did we see do this, Cozy? Who else has been doing this? The nightclub scene. Yeah, he's really he's real a jihadi. Yeah, jihadi in the nightclub, right? Really, I mean, and then he went to a gay nightclub on top of it. So that's something that religion would be. What? Yeah. It's like barred, right?
No way. Yeah, there's
no
way.
Being played.
That's why I say the same thing, man. We can't focus on religion. It's a terrible argument, and it's also not true what a lot of people are saying, right? I don't like Zoran at all, but when they say, "Oh, he's Muslim, he's going to bring Sharia law, he's going to do this, he's going to turn people," he's not going to do any of that. He's not even a practicing Muslim. Look at him. He's, like you said, he's in a gay nightclub. Muslims don't go to gay nightclubs.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, like you're saying, you're being played. Let's not fall for these games. Okay, focus on the facts. Focus on the policies. He's a communist. He's a Marxist. Focus on that. Focus that he has no experience. He's a 30-year-old boy, not a man, and he's never worked in his life, right? And he's going to run the most complex city on the planet. A little boy who's partying. Look at him. He's still partying. He's a little frat boy.
You forgot about the campaign finance violations that are major felonies.
Oh, I didn't forget. Bring it on.
They only use that against your enemies and dangle the carrot in front of them, and then never indict anyone that matters. That's going to be the DOJ. There's more. Let's get the next clip of Mamdani. There was something else that they caught him and his Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul's now. Kathy Hochul. She's campaigning for Mamdani because he can't talk about this stuff. So let's hear what she had to say.
Ms. Botox.
In the city, there have been too many people in the way, too many rules in the way, too much obstructionism, and now there's a chance to break it down. If everybody gets out there and votes for their future, vote for affordable housing with these propositions tomorrow. Turn over the ballot. It's on the back. 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Governor Mamdani won't take a position. I came here late.
We already got asked the same question.
But he won't take a position. Do you think that not taking a position doesn't help New Yorkers figure out what to do, especially if...
I'm here to do what I can do.
Have you spoken to him about this?
Not about the propositions, no.
All right.
Number 6, as we talked about, some people say that would help with like more moderate candidates, moderate Democrats. Is that a motivating factor for you?
I want Democrats, okay? All I know is we have parts of our city where it is hard to elect Democrats, period. I want to increase the turnout, which happens in gubernatorial and presidential years, which are the even years. So as we're doing across the state, giving Democrats a fighting chance to be representative, because we know how devastating it has been under Republican control from the White House to the Senate to the House down to local races as well. So we're fighting back hard. I'm the leader of the Democratic Party as well, and I know what I have to do, and getting the elections aligned in a way that's beneficial is what I'm going to continue fighting for.
Yeah. Cozy, it sounds like she's the mother and Mom Donnie's the child, because he didn't even say anything about this until I think today. I'll show you the video. I think he finally answered the question on election day. Here it is. Here's him. They finally asked him about the same question they just asked Kathy Hochul.
All right, Mr. Mamdani, today's the day. How are you going to vote on the ballot questions?
Going to be voting yes 1 through 5 and no on number 6.
Any reasoning on the yeses for the housing proposals in particular?
No, I think we urgently need to build more housing.
Watch yourself, guys. Watch yourself,
Sorry,
guys.
Hold on, one second, brother. I promised him first I'd answer this question a long time ago. Well, here you guys are together. You both have the frame. We urgently need more housing to be built across the 5 boroughs, and we also need to ensure that that housing is high quality, creating high quality union jobs. And I also understand that there are council members in opposition to these measures, and their opposition is driven by a commitment to their communities and a deep concern about investment in those communities, and I share the commitment to that investment. I look forward to working with them and delivering.
So now he's for it. I mean, he was for it. He just didn't want to tell you that, because then a lot of people wouldn't have voted for him. And now, you know, the sheep takes his clothing off. It's a wolf. I mean, like, didn't we know this already, Cozy? I mean, really, this was like well known. It's just, I guess, low information people actually believed. Oh, he's not. He is for the city of yes. He's the same thing. I've said this all along. John said this all along. Eric said this all along. Mom Donnie, Eric Adams, Andrew Cuomo are the same person. It's the same agenda. You're voting the same exact thing.
They're run by the globalists that want, like you said, the city of yes, right? They want the World Economic Forum's policy of you will own nothing and be happy. That's coming from there. That's definitely coming from there. You know, that's what they want. They want you to be weak. They want you to not have power. They want you to be uncomfortable. And how can they get you uncomfortable? Bankrupt you and make you beg for their help. That's what they want.
And on top of it,
nothing,
right?
And be happy. That's their mantra.
How is he going to get this through? Is the other question, because you want free this, free that. How you only hear yes, and then you don't know how he's going to do it, because that's how it's going to hurt. He's going to hurt all the people there, because there's no plan.
Well, what he says, right? He's going to raise 2%, which is 52% on the rich, right? Altogether. I got news for you. If you're wealthy, you're going to move to another house. Very easy for you to just jump to Long Island. It's still close to the city. Jump a little upstate, jump wherever. You could jump to New Jersey. You could jump anywhere you want when you have money very quickly. They're not going to be affected by this. You think if you're a billionaire, you're going to want to get taxed 52%? You got to be an idiot. So what's going to happen? It's going to hit the people. The hardworking people of New York City are going to foot the bill. That's what's going to happen. And we're going to collapse.
All right, say Marlon Bethel's in the chat here saying, wait till he tells you how he plans to invest in affordable housing. That's going to be something. His plan, there is none. That's what people just listen to. You're electing someone based on word salads and, you know, whatever. You're afraid of something tragic happen in New York City because someone gets elected. That is next level level of gaslighting. You know, let me see here too. Special Hagen said, Mamdani's going to keep the status quo. No one is talking about the corruption within the NYPD or the receivership at Rikers. Exactly. That's all gone, because now you're going to have, you know, I'm not accepting defeat here, but the way you really got to stare at Republicans in the face and the party itself in New York City, and say how do you not directly blame them that have not backed their own candidate at all? By the way, they haven't backed a lot of candidates. They love to lose and then cry about it. And I got to hear. Let's see who was out there recently on there. Perennial 1%er Jim Walden, 1% meaning he was never more than 1% in the polls. He's talking about math and adding and all this stuff. Cozy, this guy was at 1% in the polls since the beginning of when he ran for mayor, all the way till he finally bowed out. He said, "Don't believe the math or the polls. Donate to my campaign." And I had him on the show. John and Eric had him on the show. Now, because he bowed out, he says, "Believe the math, believe the polls, vote for Andrew Cuomo. He's the only chance." But when he was in the race, he called everybody liars and all this other stuff and said, "Oh, well, the polls don't matter because they're all fake." But now they're real. But when he was running, they weren't real because you had to donate to his campaign. Do you see what's going on here, Cozy? I mean, do you see what you're dealing with the level of snakes you have in the pit?
No comment, bro. But yeah, people see through a lot of stuff. They see it. They see for what it is. And there's a lot of people out there, and I don't know how people are going to gain their credibility back. Like, once you lose your integrity, okay, integrity is everything, people. When you lose your integrity, you don't have nothing. You can't buy back integrity, okay? It's priceless. So all you freaking talking heads and influencers who think it's cute to take the money, okay, guess what? You lost respect. Your shit is going down. People are going to look to us for the light and for the truth, okay? And we've been consistent. Look at you guys take a lot of heat. I see you guys on the show doing your thing, always taking heat, never backing down. I haven't backed down from the beginning, okay? A lot of shit people talk about me. It's all good. Guess what? At the end of the day, I know I'm right. I know I'm at least going with what my soul is telling me to do, okay? And I'm a critical thinker, and we can't go wrong. When we think and we go with our heart and our soul, we can't lose, okay? Let the world crumble. We're going to leave with integrity.
See, Caroline for Congress in the comments. Shout out to her. I know her. She ran for Congress in Pennsylvania, and that was another whole story with that race. And she says it's time for people to have to reap consequences. This happens in New York City. It's because they want it, because they don't know better. And she's right. And that graphic was just saw. That post from Chris Cuomo? Look at what this says. And this guy is a knucklehead, but Fredo. Because extreme ideas sell, our politics tend to be pendular. MAGA one way now, the left fringe populist anger movement that may motivate the midterms. But you see that number? 8.8 million residents, less than 6,800 are Palestinian. That's 0.0077%. So why is the core of Zohran Mamdani's politics Palestinian liberation? I would say that I think it's a word salad, because you're going to vote for him and then he's going to go hang out with his rich friends in the nightclub. Like, he's not what you guys think. They sold you a broken dream. It's like, they sold you this dream of this guy's this or that, and then he's just another puppet for rich people.
Yeah. I mean, his core supporters, I think the majority of his supporters are white, young, right? Like, I would say 20s to maybe 35 years old, trust fund babies, transplants, not real New Yorkers, because real New Yorkers don't vote for this crap. Okay. We know what New York needs. We don't need this guy. We don't need a little baby boy with low T, shaking around with a little apron, rapping like a little, listen, this guy's he doesn't have ideas. His ideas are terrible. Okay. At least the things that he's talking about, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The point is, it's these transplants who vote for him because they've been indoctrinated in their universities to teach them that Marxism is great and capitalism is terrible. That's what they're taught. They're taught to hate America. And this is the person they have, the symbol of, this is the personification of I hate America.
Oh yeah, man. He definitely. I don't know what he likes or dislikes. I know It looks like he likes to have a good time and he likes to spend a lot of money. So looks like he likes money. That's the one thing I know Mamdani probably likes is money. You know, that's one thing. So let's see the next videos. I know Cuomo was out there too, so we got to show you this stuff because this here's your favorite. Here's your favorite. Nursing home killer. Here, let's hear what he has to say.
Race. It's myself, the Democratic Socialist Mamdani, and there's a Republican named Curtis Lewa. And Curtis Lee was a spoiler. There was no chance he can win, but he can make Mamdani a winner. So President Trump saying to the Republicans, don't vote for Sliwa, you're wasting your vote. That could be very helpful because if they don't vote for Sliwa, they would vote for me. The three-way.
So Cozy, you're gonna vote for Cuomo because Trump told you to do so?
Hell no. What a bozo. What a bozo.
He's on Fox News for weeks now. This guy, all of a sudden, he's trying to masquerade himself into some kind of Republican, just like another guy.
Look at
here's more. Here's more from Andrew Cuomo. I think this was this morning.
The president does not support me. The president opposes Zoran Mamdani. The president believes Zoran Mamdani is a communist. He believes he's an existential threat. I believe he's a socialist and an existential threat, and not a dress-up socialist, right? Their school of socialism, this Democratic Socialists of America, government controls the means of production. No private ownership of real estate, abolish jails, decriminalize prostitution. This is frightening stuff. The president.
It's frightening. You know, you know what's the most frightening thing is this guy being in charge. You know, this guy, listen, if this guy were to get in office, which is not happening, but if he were to get in office, you're going to create another 10, 20, 30, 40 Mamdanis. Because they would go in the street and be upset, and it just be and mind you, he's the godfather of all of that stuff because he started the decriminalization of laws, and he started the cashless bail, right? You know, raise the age. All of that bad stuff came from him, and the tyranny that he did on top of it, and that's what created Zoran Mamdani to begin with, and. When he was in Albany, he'd made all kinds of backroom deals. I mean, this guy was wheeling and dealing like you've never seen before. So to hear him talk like that now, right? And you know, here's one thing. The zone silence that says Fox had nothing good to say about him during the scamdemic and can't give him enough airtime now. Only if they would have given that time to Curtis. Typical BS mainstream media. No, they're listening to their deity, which is Donald Trump. Listen. I'll say this one last time. For me, I voted for the guy 3 times because I think that Trump's got his interest, what he wanted was better than what the other side wanted, which was who he ran against. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. 3 not really good candidates, 3 establishment candidates on top of it. It's funny that Trump beat up the women, but couldn't win against the man. He couldn't beat Joe Biden, apparently. But he is the better of those 2 candidates. Is he the best that the party has to offer? I don't know about that. That's to be
definitely
determined.
not. We have Rand Paul. We have Massey. These are way better candidates there.
There's candidates that would better, I guess, best suit conservative values and wouldn't be doing deals with criminals like Eric Adams and telling you to vote for Democrats. Yeah, so, you know, this guy, and the sad part is he's getting older and things might get even crazier as time goes on. So do people regret their vote? I don't know about regretting your vote. It's who do you have to choose in front of you between those 2? Here you have 3. And notoriously, the independent is the spoiler. The only time it hasn't been the spoiler was Michael Bloomberg, who spent $100 million of his own money and lobbied to alter the law so he could run for a 3rd term, which he barely won, I believe, by like 2 points. It was neck and neck with Thompson at that time. So at no other point has an independent won a major election like a mayor or president or governor. It's been so long since an independent actually held office in even a big race. So, they win the, Senate and stuff like that. That's different than running a mayor or governor or presidential race. So he was always the spoiler because he got beat by Mamdani. I don't know why now all these Republicans, and I see a few, like, where is this? We have to vote for this guy. And then just a few years ago, I mean, this guy, when he shut down a bar in Staten Island, he's looking to lock everyone up over it. There was a sheriff running around, a rogue sheriff. And between him, the only thing him and de Blasio agreed on is we're going to be tyrannical together. They both like to be tyrannical. How can anybody want to vote for that? I don't understand this, Cozy. It's like, this guy literally, I remember running around in Staten Island. I was a cop, and I said, what are these sheriffs? What are you doing? You're going to a bar looking to lock people up for just being there? That was under Cuomo. I guess that never happened, Cozy. Maybe I just dreamed it. It was all a dream.
Again, man, they're voting for their abuser. It's so sad to see this because here we have Curtis Lewa, which we're never going to see a candidate like this again, of this caliber, because he not only is, he has common sense ideas, right? Things that we agree with, but he also has the history. That history is going away. After this candidate, I don't think you're going to have that history. He knows New York City in and out more than any politician on that floor, on that debate stage, any politician that's currently serving. Okay. He knows in and out of the MTA, how it works, all the intricacies. He knows about bridges and tunnels and like the electric grid. You ask him anything, he knows about it. He knows about it. He knows about all the little stuff that he knows about the sewer systems and what's needed to upgrade them. He can talk to you about anything about New York City because he's in the streets. He talks to people. He talks to a wide array of people, like all types of people. You see him shaking hands with, he's in Brooklyn, he's in Bronx, he's in Staten Island. He knows people. Okay. So you're going to lose this. This is your last chance to get somebody of this caliber. And you guys are going to fuck it up because you're following Trump's orders. You're following what Sid Rosenberg is doing, what Katzimatidis is doing, and all these Cuomo-sexuals. And you're going to lose a great man who would have been a great leader. It's a damn shame, man. It's heartbreaking.
No, it just, somebody here, someone said in the comments here, PB said, people vote their emotions, not their interest or fiscal reality. Endless, empty, circular, feel-good, emotional answers. That's basically what you're getting here.
That's true. Very true. Actually,
you're going to now get the low information crowd that were in the nightclub now saying, we're going to vote for Mamdani, man. Where is it? Sobro Gardens? We're going to hang out there. A little more human trafficking going on. Don't worry about it. Mamdani going to say, that's what, this guy, he's going after the same voter.
Yeah, it's like Dumb and Dumber, Cuomo and Zoran.
Look at Elon Musk here. New York City ballot form is a scam. No ID is required. Other mayoral candidates appear twice. Cuomo's name is last and bottom right. They don't appear twice. You know why they appear twice, Elon? Because they represent a different party line.
Yeah, they should open up. I was joking about it yesterday on my show. They should open up another line for Republicans who, don't feel comfortable voting for a Democrat. They should open up a line that says Cuomo-sexuals, and then they could vote for Andrew Cuomo and not have guilt in their hearts.
Yeah, I'm going to address this one. I see this guy in here saying this. Asa NYC, can you please talk about Sliwa faking a kidnapping for clout, though? He's talking about something that happened in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. The early 90s, okay? Now, something that happened, he went on and he said that, he was getting kidnapped or whatever. And then he came out and he said, it wasn't real. And he had to go on television and say that, or even the radio. So there's a little bit of shtick that was involved. Of course, we're looking at 30 plus years ago where Mamdani wasn't even born yet. And you're talking about 1990 and it's 2025. In 1990s, Hulk Hogan was the WWF champion. It was the WWF. What are we doing? You want to go back to – I'm going back to right now. and this is a recent couple of years, this completely affects New York City. Doing something that you just mentioned, you're saying he's been untrustworthy. What's Andrew Cuomo? What's Mamdani, who's been in the state assembly for 4 years and has accomplished nothing?
What a
Here's the
comment.
difference. Curtis Sliwa was a civilian like everyone else in here, unless some people are elected officials or whatever, and not showing their real name. Those two guys I'm mentioning, Mamdani and Cuomo, what I'm talking about is while they're in office, what they've done in office. So to run on your record, or that's where you have an untrustworthiness, not when you're a civilian. Nobody can. Would you vote for Jussie Smollett? He's not running. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I don't know. You like the other guy, RH's friend. You like the Antifa, the resident Antifa member in here. You're not making any sense. You're not comparing. You're comparing apples to oranges. You have to run on your record, and your record is what you deem trustworthy or not. I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. How's your mayor now? Is he really trustworthy? I bet you were jumping up and down voting for him, right? Jeez. I think it's a good time to have the producer on because Jack's got a lot to say. And he's got, I don't know if you have anything else that's like whatever's incoming lately. What's the latest that's going on out there? Is this like videos and all kinds of stuff?
Yeah, there's a million things, but let's just give everyone an update on the tally of voters coming out of the polls. 1.195 million people have voted in New York City right now. And at the current trajectory that we're heading at, we're going to be getting 2 million voters total, which will surpass 2021 by a very good margin. Remember, we only had about 25% turnout in 2021. We're on pace to have 40% turnout this year. So this is a very emotionally involved election for everyone. And that's prompted people to speak with their minds at the ballot box where it really counts. That's one of the silver linings of everything that's taken place over the past couple of days for sure.
Is that 1.1 million total votes for today, or is that overall?
No, that's cumulative for all of the days. Early voting, today, mail, all that good stuff. So I think it's really fantastic that people are going out and voting. But back to the point about the mainstream media, because they're the ones who have really tainted public perception here. We had Rob Schmidt last night. When we get Mamdani tomorrow, thanks Sliwa. And then he opens up his show on Newsmax, spending 15 to 20 minutes talking about why Mamdani can't be the mayor of New York City. Brings on Byron Donalds, who's lived in New York City more recently than Andrew Cuomo, a congressman from Florida who's now running for governor. And he starts parroting Donald Trump's talking points as well, saying a vote for Sliwa is a vote for Mamdani. These people have to be out of their minds, resorting to baseless fear-mongering, talking about communism and Fidel Castro in Cuba when America is a developed capitalistic country, saying we're going to lose New York City. It's going to become a communist country. It's going to become a third world country. Guys, hello, wake up. All of these things happened under Andrew Cuomo already during the COVID pandemic. We were all locked down. He passed horrible bills and policies which didn't favor anyone. Remember when he shut down barbershops and then came on camera with this really like nice haircut? I mean, the guy is like, no, like he complained on the debate stage about, we could go on all day about Cuomo's flaws, by the way, but he complained about Mamdani getting a pay raise as part of the assembly when he gave himself a $20,000 pay raise as governor. He's already been given his chance to govern in New York State, and he's totally destroyed it. Why should anyone just blindly vote for him? And given the emotion involved here, people who had parents killed by this guy, people who were involved in situations with him in other forms and fashions, they're not just going to blindly like sheep say, oh yeah, I'm going to go vote for him. What type of ridiculous nonsense is that?
Yeah, great points, man. Great point. Especially, I like your point where you're saying, like, he's worried about a communist or a dictator. Meanwhile, he was a dictator. He was locking down businesses. I know many friends who've lost their businesses at the hands of Andrew Cuomo. Okay, heartbreaking. I know my friends, good friends. They had a store for 10 years, 10 freaking years. They were doing great. This guy shut them down, and then they never recovered. Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
he's pro businesses, but he wants to make life hard for small businesses. He's only
mom
going to
and
help the
pops.
big corporations where he has some sort of vested interest. And Donald Trump is not going to blindly endorse a underdog losing candidate in a mayoral election where he does not have some allegiance with the candidate either. People need to wake up and recognize what's going on right in front of them, because this is very dangerous to our democracy, letting the mainstream media and the president of the United States dictate how we feel. That's more of a threat to democracy than anything else, really.
Yeah, Joel Ramirez says Trump is creating the socialism storm that's coming. Curtis is the only real New Yorker. I think New York City's been under socialism for quite a while. On the first, Bill de Blasio, then Eric Adams, who, listen, he is a social. I don't know how people ignore it. And now whether you have Mamdani or Cuomo, it's the same thing. The only thing that's different is Curtis Lewa. But yet there's all this arguing and screaming and fear-mongering. Here's another one. This one. Ina Vernikov, she's from the Soviet Union. Here, she's constantly bringing up her race and her religion and everything. I'm quite disgusted in her, but I knew her prior to her running, when she was just a lawyer in Coney Island. This has been, look what she's writing. Full-blown socialism will be replaced. Social workers, Jews are screwed. It always goes back to Jews and her. I'm from Soviet Union. There's nothing of substance. We're just going on race, religion, and ideology, and that's it. It's over. That's all she's been pointing to. She has first of all, how is your district? Oh, she ran unopposed there. That's the thing. There's nobody. They didn't run anyone against her. But I'm sure coming up, that's going to change, because you got this woman's crazy. So talking about,
and I really think that she does believe that. Like what she's saying, I think that she does believe that, and that's a problem in of itself, right? Like as a leader, you should know what is fiction and what is truth.
This is my command, by the way. I worked in the 60th precinct. All right, look at that. Murder's up 300%. Oh my God, rape is up 131%.
Jesus.
Okay, this was on. I was there, and I could tell you, I worked in the 60th precinct, and we had the lowest numbers of crime of all time. It was in 2015 and 16, and in this era, like 2014, 15, and 16, there was a lot of work that we did. We had to go and we wrote a lot of quality of life summonses. The DWIs, the traffic numbers, all that stuff would drop because there was fatalities and stuff. So there was a lot of work just 10 years ago that we put into keeping Coney Island safe. And now it looks like it's just the same as everything else in the city. Because, she's just city councilwoman, but she's talking about the Soviet Union and, what's in the best interest of people from from a foreign country. And everything is communist and socialism. She came from that, though. So how do you know that this guy is going to be what you came from when this guy is out partying to the break of dawn? I don't know. Do communists do that? Do they roll around in nightclubs? I don't know. It seems like the last mayor that's there does the same thing, and he's been partying to the break of dawn, and he's just like Mamdani. So I don't know what she's talking about other than she fearmongers. And I saw what she did this morning. She did a video. Oh, here's Cuomo. You can't find him on the ballot. And then you vote Republican down the line. And that's not how it works, lady. I don't know if you know. When people vote, they vote for the top candidate that's running and down ballot. You're trying to now you're acting like you have to understand. Many people they don't like. They used to pull the lever. I'm going back years ago. The population, especially in her district, there's like a lot of seniors there. You're asking them to say, okay, circle this and circle here and circle, other than just vote straight down the line Republican, vote straight down the line Democrat, which is what they do. And she's explaining this.
You guys won't believe the latest thing that she posted a couple minutes ago. And listen, we don't want to make this the Ina Vernikov show or anything like this, but we just want to discredit all of the people that are lying to you and trying to influence your decision-making process at the polls, because frankly, it's unfair to you guys to have to be brainwashed by these people. She said the fact that Zoran Mamdani did not vote for himself on the Democratic line, but on the Working Families Party line, aka Communist Party, what the hell? Instead tells every moderate Democrat what they need to know. Zoran Mamdani is no Democrat. He's a full-blown communist. So translation here, she's telling everyone that because he's voting for himself as a Working Families Party member, he's not a real politician. He's not a valid person to be voting for. I mean, I don't even understand the logic of what she's trying to say here. She's accusing him of being a communist, but at the end of the day, voters don't care about all of these stupid little things, whether he took a photo with Hassan Piker or whether he knew this person who made some crazy post about 9/11 5 years ago in a moment of frustration. New Yorkers care about their best interests being represented, their streets being safe, being able to have cops come to crime scenes when they call 911. Having their taxes lowered, having a fair cost of living. It's like all of the most important things that should be considered during an election have been thrown out the window. And now we're focusing on the crumbs on the floor when there's a 5-course meal sitting on the dinner table.
I don't think she's too bright, because if she would remember this, many years ago, there were other parties, Libertarian Party, the Green Party. There's like 6 or 7 parties. And it was the guy she endorsed that came in and got rid of those parties. And he got endorsed by, at that time, this was in 2014 or around there, he got endorsed by the Working Families Party, which is the party she's talking about. So if she needs to talk to her friend about the Worker Family Party to find out why they're so significant these days, because it was Andrew Cuomo that let them remain as a party while he crushed everyone else on his ballots. And now they come for him. Isn't that interesting? So you reap what you sow, because New York City used to have all different kind of lines. You could run on the Libertarian Party, the Green Party. There's a couple other parties I remember. It was Cuomo that put a law in to go after them, but he left the Workers' Family Party out of it. And now she's got a problem with it. Go ask your boy, Andrew Cuomo. I mean, I don't know, but you got to be careful. I hear things about him. He's got 13 sexual harassment lawsuits. So
yeah, be careful. Stay away from him.
You be careful. You have to be very careful around him. Same thing with Eric Adams, because she's hanging out with Ingrid Lewis Martin, and we all know what Ingrid Lewis Martin's up to, right? I mean, are you following the bouncing ball yet, or are we just being like this guy Acer in the room, who's like the resident Antifa member?
Also, does Mamdani look like a low-class person in this video that he posted at the nightclub? Like, he's dancing with the DJ of a high-profile place on stage. Look at how he's dapping up all these people at the very end. Like, he's assimilating to the upper echelon of society in New York City, and I think this is what you can expect from his mayoralty as well.
Yeah.
Going out and being with the higher stratosphere individuals. He wanted to relate to the working man while he was on the campaign trail, putting his arm around the LGBTQA community to try and get their support. But once he gets it, all bets are off, and he's going to totally change his tune. Be careful of that, too.
I know the resident Antifa member in the room was saying, a nightclub. Here's your problem. The last guy that was the mayor and went to nightclubs, look what happened. I'll give you one scenario. Eric Adams was out till 4 a.m. at Conso Frito with Jimmy Rodriguez and a shorty. And we all know this because it was Curtis and myself that discovered this. And Curtis went on air with it because what happened was that night was a major flood. It was September of 2023, I believe. There was a major flood. So the press conference, which at that time Eric Adams had all the time, he didn't do them anymore after. He only did it once a week. Thursday, it was a Thursday or Friday morning. He shows up in the afternoon at 12 o'clock, bags under his eyes. He's late. That's because he was out till 4 a.m, leaving with a shorty. Nobody knows where they went. And he shows up to the press conference at 12 o'clock. The city is flooded. There's chaos everywhere. Well, he's busy partying to the break of dawn. So people don't forget this. So when they think about this, now they're seeing this guy do it. What do you think people are going to think? You got to be kidding me that now we're going to have another guy do the same exact thing. So if he's partying, instead of worrying about day-to-day operations of the city, and look, you could do this No one says you can't do it, but Eric was doing it so much that it clearly affected the way he ran the city. And it shows that he's not even running. He's a one-term mayor. So that's what people are concerned over. It's not so much the club or what you're doing. Everybody goes out and does it. But when you abuse this and you can't run the city right, and then you also show up to press conferences late and then make him just once a week after that, and he can't be, it was off-topic questions only once a week. And now the guy even stopped doing it, right? All started because he got busted, cold busted, on a night where it was flooding at Consa Frito with Jimmy Rodriguez and the merry band of felons there with his cops and all these people that shouldn't be together. And he left with a shorty. And he didn't come to a press conference till 12 in the afternoon. And then his response was, I'm no longer going to have a press conference every day. We're going to do it once a week. All because of that. So, yes, going to the nightclub matters if you're going to abuse things and be like that guy. So, if I don't know if Mamdani wants to answer that, how he would be a mayor, that might be a problem. I'm just telling you.
And the thing is, there's plenty of bulletin board material with Mamdani. He's a poor legislator. He did a horrible job as an assemblyman up in Albany. I mean, we've beat the dead horse until it can't move anymore about all of the bad bills that he's proposed and backed and how he's very unrespected and unliked up there. He's not someone with a great reputation, yet everyone's focusing on the most stupid stuff of the election, which is totally ununderstandable. I mean, look at what happened yesterday, just as an example. If you want to criticize Zoran Mamdani, talk about how Kathy Hochul is now doing all of his policy bidding on the streets of New York City, talking about ballot proposals that he hadn't even commented on up until this morning. Isn't that problematic when he's talking about freezing the rent and also wanting to build affordable housing, which would directly inhibit his ability to do so? He hasn't talked about that at all, and no one's asked him any questions about it. So people have gotten so caught up in the nonsensical rhetoric that they're not even talking about the day-to-day policies that are going to be impacting New Yorkers and how there's already this very weird power dynamic between Kathy Hochul and Mamdani. My prediction is that Hochul knows she can totally just push him around to do whatever she wants with him. So she wants to get him in office for that reason, and also to try and appeal to the far left-leaning constituency base that now exists in New York City. She didn't even try and hide it in her press conference yesterday. She said, we need to take back the House of Representatives. We need to take back New York State. We need to regain control in Washington. What about electing a competent mayor of New York City? Isn't that supposed to come first?
Yeah, no, and that shows. Listen, I agree with you because I was thinking the same thing about in terms of like she's kissing ass to the Democratic Socialists, right, of America, because she knows that basically they allowed this, right? They allowed this. These are the cool kids in town. You know what I mean? Like she's got to be part of it to be relevant now. In order for the Democrats to be relevant, they're allowing these lunatics to take over the House, right? So, and I think that's what she's doing. She's kissing ass to just kind of feel relevant because, you know, they don't want old people. They don't want, like, the Democrats look at it as, oh, they're too old. They're stiffs. They're, you know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is the party. They're going to party. They're going to give you everything for free. And they're going to, you know, I don't know. It's like doing cocaine until you pass out. And that's what they're going to be like. And then they're not going to know how to recover.
I see here Lone Silence that says too many people posting memes of a plane flying into the new WTC and linking it to Mamdani versus what his policies are. It is all fear-mongering lunacy.
I agree, man. I agree. It's terrible.
Did people not see Brad Lander standing in the background where Kathy Hochul was speaking about voting yes on amendments 1 through 6? Like, the most Jewish politicians in New York City and most of the Jewish population are backing Mamdani. If he truly was an anti-Semite, they wouldn't be supporting him. And if some catastrophe unfortunately did transpire and he had a reaction that people didn't like, he would become unfavorable very quickly. So no, he's not going to be taking extremist stances on anything. That's not why he's a bad politician. He's a bad politician because he was a bad legislator, and he's going to continue carrying around Eric Adams' water pail. Look at all the same policies that he has from Eric Adams. The Q teams he talked about, Jessica Tisch, already rolling out, that he talked about with his Department of Community Safety. Like, he's already hired away 2 members of Eric Adams's communication staff, Liz Garcia and Erica Tanner. It's the same thing. Like, He's literally reheating the nachos that have been sitting in the fridge for 3 weeks that tasted horrible 3 weeks ago. Like, why are people? It's all window dressing nonsense meant to distract from the most important stuff in this election, which are the bad policies that he's going to try and accentuate, or what his administration is going to accentuate. He's not a good legislator. Everyone else is going to be doing his dirty work. He's just going to be on mainstream media outlets talking all day. That's what he is, a national figurehead.
Great points. I thought you were going to point out how horrified Landers looked. He was like looking at her like weird. He's like, "Oh shit, what is she going to say?" He was terrified of what was going to come out of Kathy Hochul's mouth because she's an idiot. She says things. She says terrible things. I mean, remember what she said about black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. Like, they're scared to what's going to come out of this lady's mouth.
Yeah, I guess when you're associated with the John Katzimatidis of Western New York and Terry Pagula, you can say just about anything and get away with it. She would not be in Mamdani's district at Murphy's, which is like a transplant Buffalo bar. Look at that guy standing in the middle. He looks like someone who's from Western New York and decided to move to New York City because of software job or finance position, whatever it may be. But like, she would not be planting a flag in his district, taking interest in the Buffalo Bills, watching football alongside his constituents, unless there was some sort of real intrinsic motivation.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people this is another spin on this whole thing, is that Cuomo is going to use this to try to run for governor. That would be an even worse beating than he's going to take tonight.
There's no way in hell he can become governor again.
Yeah. Had he had waited, maybe. If this got really bad and then Hochul, next year she gets primary, but she won't get primary from him. So he's done here. So he wasted that little bullet he might have had to try to run. And so, okay, I'll take her on one-on-one. He running for mayor ruined him. He wasn't going to win this, and it showed. And he probably had a better chance against her since she's not a good governor. And I mean, look at her. She's making a fool out of herself. Are you for Mamdani or against? What are you doing out there? And then she's hanging around the Buffalo Bills, and there's that whole thing with that $800 million. They took $100 million out of $800 million they got, and right away bought a yacht with it. Those are her friends. So she's got a lot of, her election's coming up next year. That might be a problem. I don't know how she's going to have a problem winning her own primary, let alone trying to win the governorship.
Well, I think that's what she was scared of. That's why she's backing Mamdani, because she doesn't want to get primaried by a Democratic socialist. And maybe, we'll see what happens with that.
Still,
I mean, can she? Wait, I actually, maybe, I don't know. Are they gonna? You think they're gonna run? Yeah, I don't know.
They're gonna run a primary. Someone's gonna primary because she's wavering as far as if she was to face a Republican like Elise Stefanik. Not that I don't know if you could actually win in New York, but she came real close to Lee Zeldin. It was within 5 points, and there was some shenanigans there. It's probably even closer. So that's really close. And it's not New York City because remember, Long Island votes Republican, and it might be a little too hot under the collar for her. But as a primary goes, the Democrats themselves might say, we'll just run another socialist or something for a governor.
Yeah,
you see that,
but that'll never work in New York, right? Like a socialist right now in New York State will be harder to win than New York City, right? New York City, they could easily win, but like New York State will have some trouble, right? It'll be a little more difficult, but they'll try it. They can try a test run,
You could try a test run, but she is up for grabs. Her seat could be up for grabs.
She's only a total idiot
because she doesn't know. Yeah, she's doesn't know what she's doing, and that's what Cuomo had a better shot had he held out, and he didn't. Because again, by the way, him being on the second line on the ballot shows you just how smart the people around him really are. So, he's not, you can't even find him on the ballot. So this guy doesn't have the brightest around him. I don't know if his heart was really ever winning because he can't win anyway. But if he were to win anything, it would have been being governor again. And he, whatever chance he had, he just threw it away with this. And Hochul could be had, but I think that she'll get primaried from someone else in the party, and I don't know who yet, but that's the route they're going to take, especially if she's back in Mamdani, because this could kind of blow up in her face. So I don't know how that's going to play out in a Democrat party.
Yeah, the lone silencer brings up a good point here that Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado plans on running against her. Yes, that is true. Delgado floated the possibility of running against Hochul. And it's funny because there's kind of like a deja vu moment in Albany again. Hochul had a fallout with her Lieutenant Governor Delgado. Cuomo had a fallout with his lieutenant governor, who at the time was Hochul, and she kind of slid in through the back door as well. No, Delgado doesn't really have much of a shot in a head-to-head matchup. The early polls a year out are showing him at having about 20% of the constituency base. He's not going to come close to Hochul because Hochul is a powerhouse in New York State. She is the queen from Western New York, Wonder Woman, as I like to affectionately call her. She has tons of financial backing from not only Terry Pagula, but a lot of the big corporations that exist all throughout the state. So she's going to be the Democratic nominee. But what is serving in Stefanik's favor right now is there's going to be a lot of dissatisfaction and anger if Mamdani ends up winning the mayoralty in New York City, and she's going to have the advantage of capitalizing on the momentum to sell maybe a different vision for New York State to her constituents, as she's already done on social media. So that is the one thing kind of helping New Yorkers and is a saving grace in this situation. We may be able to get a Republican governor by virtue of the frustration that's going to be existing. The other way to look at it is the Democrats are going to look to capitalize on the momentum of getting Mamdani into office, but I think it can really go one of two ways here.
Another thing too is we can't leave out the down ballot races. Like so yesterday, I had this special show where we had Elijah Diaz on. He's running in District 45. That's in Brooklyn. And he's running against Farrah Lewis, who's been there forever. And she's basically another empty suit. I think she's running. This would be for another 2 years or so, I think, because she's been there 6 years. So this would be her final term if she won. But her district, he's got a lot of donors in his own district. And his district is 14-1 Democrats and Republicans. Yet he's the first Republican to get matching funds there. And he actually outraised her. That's from the district alone. And this is why this is important that the Republican doesn't drop out from mayor. Curtis, who's campaigned with him, Curtis is dragging a lot of people past the finish line because a lot of people who wouldn't have voted are voting. You understand? And this is why polls and stuff, if you get the same electorate all the time, like last year was only 1.1 million, right? You already have more than that right now. So total, right? If you have a smaller, turnout, then the polls are more predictable. Here he is. He's a
smart kid. He's a smart kid. I've talked to him. He's pretty advanced for his age. So I really hope he wins, man. Great effort on his part.
Yeah. We have him. I got Frank Morano, my friend. He's running in Staten Island. He's been there. This is the third election of the year for him because he had to run the special election because the fake Republican Joe Borelli left for, I don't know exactly why.
To go send me drunk DMs at 3:00 in the morning and go on CNN when he felt like it. Yeah, that's essentially why he left.
So his seat was taken by Frank, who had to win a primary and a special election. And by the way, the primary was Vito Fosella's kid was running in that. And guess who helped him run his campaign? The same guy that's now running around with his radio station, telling everybody Curtis can't win. That was John Katz. And you would think Frank Morano, who worked for John Katz for many years, I was right in front of him when he's gloating about him. He wanted Frank Morano to not win because he supported Fosella, and that's where Fosella even had any kind of money to run in that race. So that was the first primary. Then he won a special election, and now we're on to the November election for the next couple of years. So Frank Morano is a good friend of mine. He's been on the air forever. He knows all the players. He's been campaigning with Curtis everywhere, along with Scott Lebedo. That's another race that's interesting. Obviously, I believe Joanne Ariola is running for re-election. Vicky Palladino running for re-election. Christy Moderato, who's a hard person to catch. She is running for re-election. All of them, all campaigning with Curtis and with Frank Morano. They are the real Republicans in New York City, unlike someone like Ina Vernikov, who will, the highest bidder wins, Oh, yeah, somebody mentioned Janine Acquafreda. She was on here, too. She's running for Brooklyn Borough President.
Yeah, she's great, too.
There's someone else people should look. So these are all races that matter, that Curtis helps carry those candidates to the finish line, because you need to have someone who galvanizes your voters to come out and vote. Who's going to do that?
And I also want to say, if you're in Queens, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, please vote for Ramses Frias. He's doing a lot. Yes. Look him up. He's doing great work, trying to shut down the prostitution stuff, trying to make that area safe. And it's really bad out there. It's really bad. So please support him. He's an amazing person.
Now, these are important down ballot races, and I think people just completely forget about it. They're just like, oh, well, the mayor. No, and then you got to also flip that ballot around, because those proposals 1 to 6, where you heard them say 1 to 5 saying yes, that it should be the opposite, because city of yes is not what you want.
Listen, I always do know. I don't even read them every year. I just say no, because I know when government wants something, it's always no. My answer is going to be no. That's it. I don't read them.
This is I actually here in Florida, they actually had legalizing marijuana on the ballot, and that was one of the things I agreed to. And why is they they go after people here for medical marijuana. So if you have marijuana, whatever, in your car, but you have it because you're on they can arrest you for that. And they don't really have anything on the books to say otherwise. So if you legalize it, meaning that's now legal, and you don't get arrested because you have your own thing in a container, which you need because they do use it for medicinal purposes. I actually voted yes to that, but it failed on the ballot. Would you believe that was the one thing that did not? It didn't. It got about 40-something%.
It needed 55% too.
Yeah,
that's
crazy. It had some pretty extreme limitations as well in terms of the THC potency levels, because kind of the dilemma that unfolded is the medical marijuana industry, which is very profitable, was now going to be competing with private corporations that were selling it recreationally. And there was this big political war, and the medical corporations won because now they can charge people, I think it's like $300 a year to renew their medical prescription. So it's like become a huge, major for-profit industry. But as it pertains to the Republican Party in New York City, at least we know who the real Republicans are now and who the pretenders are, because the pretenders are the ones who came out and said that if you were voting for Curtis Sliwa, you were wasting your vote. You were voting for Mamdani, even though Andrew Cuomo stood no chance of winning. And they didn't talk about Andrew Cuomo's path to winning. They just told you that he was the only person who could save New York City. But
what happened there? Oh, looks like Jack froze. I think he froze out. I see Special Hagen says something. She's saying this at Hood Mayor. I have become disappointed with Adrian Adams. I'm hoping that some of this new group of politicians find honest and competent mentors so that they can function when they get these offices. Adrian Adams, as bad as she is not for the city of yes. So, again, just because they're Democrats or whatever, and we don't agree everything politically, there are ideas like that city of yes should not be happening, but that's going to basically give away New York City to all these billionaire, corporatists, and that would be a problem. I don't know what you're going to be voting for this. Or did you already voted, Cozy?
Yeah, already voted. Yeah, I voted early, day 1, day 2.
You voted. So you were there with Curtis.
Well, I didn't see him, but yeah, I voted the second day. It was like a Sunday of early voting. So I went, said no to everything, and down the line, Republican, down the line. And the
Yeah.
judges, I didn't even check off any judges because it's all stupid. It's like, it's on every line. It's basically Democrat, and they're all Democrats, basically.
Yeah, I see these people in the comments. We have the resident jester here, who I will not name because if there was a picture of what low information human being would be, it's this person. And I believe also the true identity of this person. I may or may not know who they are, but they're just like a straight up hater, and like they have no idea what they're talking about. Like if they could start a race war, ideology war, a religious war, this person would do it. They're for chaos, and they are a supremacist, but not a white one. Just so you know, I mean that seems to be their rhetoric in the room. And but I'm telling you, we have a fast track on who this person is. And I just hope it's not an NYPD personnel, because it sounds like that. Wow. Especially who this person is. It's a special unit too, and this unit's been used in the past to attack certain people. And no, it's not a chief either. It's something else. And now they're going.
Just don't feed the animals. Just delete the comment, block them, take a screenshot, and that's it. Yeah.
And this guy Asa too, the resident. He's the resident Antifa guy for today. Usually it's this other guy. I lived in New York City almost. I'm 43, so I'd be close to over 35 years of my life, maybe more. Okay, I was here for a little bit in Florida. I've been living here the last couple of years after what happened, and I still have something in New York City. So no, there isn't just any forgetting about it, and it is New York City that calls me back, not the other way around, because I still do care about people, but it's the people that are there that come to me to tell me what. Some of you, especially some in the comments here, what you're up to, because you're up to no good. It's always like, don't tell me what to do. You don't know anything. You don't live in Florida. You live in Florida. But you know what? Well, your mayor right now, he lives in New Jersey. The guy that's running for mayor that Trump endorsed, he lives upstate and in Southampton. So he's not a resident of New York City. And this guy got a place in Uganda.
Dual citizen, right?
Dual citizen.
You can't make this shit up, man.
Okay, so you telling other people, look at yourselves in the mirror, because that's usually what they do. That's what they always do, especially guys like
Anyway, listen, the message here is like what it boils down to, what you've seen right now, especially this election, is it comes down to the establishment versus the people. Okay, and you have to see it. And if you can't see it, then I don't think you're ever going to see it. But right now is a perfect window of opportunity for you to see it. And when you see Donald Trump crossing party lines to an establishment puppet like Andrew Cuomo, you got to see that connection, that uniparty. That uniparty is the globalist party, right? Trump ran on like anti-globalism. That's all a facade. You're seeing it straight up. It's the people versus the establishment. Okay. And they want full control over everything. They want to restrict your travel with the 15-minute city stuff. The congestion pricing all ties into it. They're going to restrict what you say. They already did it. They did the test run during COVID. They shut us down. My X account, okay, has been suppressed since the beginning of the pandemic and hasn't let go. And that's on Elon Musk, the free speech hero, right? The free speech hero. He's not a free speech hero. He's all about collecting data.
That guy, Elon Musk. I was a fan of his until, I don't know what he's thinking with his. I don't like when they try to tell you how to vote or whatever. You could say I support a guy or whatever, but those guys, especially when he's worth billions of dollars, he's not the common man. He's far from it. I think he's like the richest guy in the world. And here he is with a ballot from New York. I thought he lived in Texas. Doesn't he live in Texas?
He did. I think he did. I think he still does. He probably has houses everywhere.
Yeah. So how? So he can only vote in one state.
Where did he?
So he votes. From what I saw, the ballot said New York City. He's voting in New York City.
Really? So he probably has an apartment. By law, he has to be here. A certain percentage of the year. But who knows what these people do, man? They get away with anything.
like I said, I liked what he was doing with Doge, and then you realize that never even got implemented. That was another, scam.
All fake.
It's another scam from, your favorite president there. What other thing he's going to throw at you to tell, oh, yeah, we're doing this and that. Then you look and go, where is it? Oh, well, we're going to do it. We'll get around to it. And then blames Congress and all these people. It's tailor-made for him they're going to get crushed. I think Republicans are going to get crushed. I think they're going to, in a year, in this trajectory, there's nothing going on. They have nothing to run on. If you run on Mamdani in New York City, who's not even the mayor yet, I don't know. I don't even know how to do it.
I just can't believe what all this circus that's going on right now. Like, it's just disgusting, and it's heartbreaking because, you're a real New Yorker. I'm a real New Yorker. To see our city fall like this, it's painful. It's painful because they get stupider every year. I mean, I looked at them as stupid as for masking themselves during the pandemic and following all that stuff. But I'm like, can they get any stupider? Yes, they're going to continue getting stupider. They're voting for their abuser. They're voting for their abuser. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. What do you think? So how do you see today playing out? You see it as a huge voter turnout. That's got to be the highest it's been in a long time. You're probably going to be over 2 million or very close to it, which would be, you haven't seen that in like 30 years or so. So how do you see this playing out? I mean, you got a ton of propaganda. I think this would be, without the propaganda, I think it would have ended be a different way. But there's so much of it now. It's like you're getting lost in the clouds.
Yeah.
Do you believe the hype or your ice? I don't know.
Part of me doesn't want to say what I believe, who I really think is going to win, because I don't want to give people like false, like I don't want to upset, like get people down. I'm just saying, vote for the person you really want to vote for. Okay. But yeah, screw it. I'll tell you what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like Mamdani was going to win. Okay. Because there's a lot of stupid New Yorkers. And I think that if there wasn't all this propaganda and the bullying and the harassment and the pressure and all the advertisements that are going through and the constant text that I get, I think that Sliwa would have done better than Cuomo. Okay. But I think that it would have, I don't know if Sliwa had enough to actually beat Zoran, right? It would have came close, but I think Zoran would have won anyway. But I'm not discouraging anybody. Get out there, vote, bring your grandma, father, bring anybody who legally can vote with you. And miracles can happen. Miracles can happen. People can finally wake up. So come on, people. This is your last chance to save your city. Don't disappoint us. What do you think?
I think that the numbers were never going to line up for any Republican. But in a 3-man race or 4-man race, that would keep you in play. Mm-hmm. I think if it's one-on-one, right, because you're still going to get people that vote for the guy that dropped out or whatever, this would have been really close, right? But with all this propaganda in the last few days, you have a lot of people that are totally like scared right now. A lot of the people right now saying like, oh, Sharia law is coming. And that's what I don't like. And it's all Cuomo's camp that started that. It's coming, Sharia law. And like I said, some people have this thing. They're going after, like basically like it's a religious thing. And I don't see it that way because, I saw a video I mentioned in the last show. They were having a call to prayer in a park and they used this video as, oh my God, this is coming to New York City every day. They've been doing that for decades. What are you talking about? It's been going on forever. I was there. Nobody's doing anything. And for all that surveillance that Ray Kelly was on, remember years ago, another guy that endorsed Cuomo, you caused a lot of lawsuits. I don't know if there were terror plots foiled or whatever, but you were surveying people in other states. It got crazy, and there was a lot of money that had to be paid out. And in the end, was that really worth trampling on people's rights to say, Oh, everybody's because they use the Patriot Act to spy on people.
Terrible, man.
Okay,
Terrible.
this is a bad. This is a bad chapter in time. So here we go. You're trying to use that rhetoric to get people scared to go vote for the other guy. That's what they did.
Yeah, and they don't care who it hurts. They don't care how dangerous it becomes for people, right? Because then people really believe this hatred. They get brainwashed to hate other people, and they're hating on Muslims, and then there's hate on Jews, and you're causing a religious freaking war. You're causing problems in our streets, and I see it. I see the hatred from both sides, and it's not cool, man. We should never feed into that. This is New York, a melting pot where there's diversity. We always respected each other. Before 9/11, we all got together. Then started there was Islamophobia for a while. Then that, thank God, died down. Then we were back to, again, diversity. We all, care about each other. And now we're starting with this crap again. Okay, it's disgusting. It should never happen.
I see the resident Antifa guy. He's saying Sliwa showed up yesterday to Coney Island using a tragedy to cope. Sick stuff. No, that woman that he, we put flowers down. He's the only person that ever spoke about that entire incident. It was all being, that was all being told. You wouldn't even know about that woman's number or that woman's name. Nothing. What the incident that happened. You were told one thing, and then they didn't even have the right name, I believe. And it was Curtis that went out of his way at that time to find out who this woman was, where they lived. And now you're saying is he's using that to he was one of the few people that actually cared. No one else did speak about it or care. So
let's ask. I want to ask the people listening right now. What percentage do you think that Cuomo's going to get, Sliwa's going to get, and Mamdani? Just comment to us. I want to see your opinions. And Sal, what do you think? What do you think the breakdown is going to be in percentage?
I would still, up until this propaganda from the last few hours, including President Trump himself, I would have said everybody would be probably closer to 38, 35, 40. Now I don't know, because the propaganda work. I don't know. The propaganda work, and people started shifting votes around.
Well, I think the propaganda is working for most people. Hopefully not. I had a family member. I talked to a family member who called me, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know. You think I should vote for Cuomo?" I just blasted them, just went off, and told them. I think that they listened. I think they understood why I say no to that, and hopefully that person doesn't do that. Stick to your heart. I told them stick to your soul, stick to who you really want to represent New York. You can't go wrong doing that. Even if we go down in flames, at least you voted with integrity, and you won't regret it. You won't ever regret voting with integrity. You won't. Because at least you can sleep at night. You could sleep at night saying, at least I'm not a piece of shit.
GI Bro says in here, yeah, it's a good one. He said something about, my own family member gave me that Cuomo line instead of Sliwa. And he says, you got to be effing kidding me.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's back, Mr. Stern.
Yeah, I'm back. So we had a little bit of an unfortunate situation with technological difficulty. So I am back to help finish out the show. Everything blew out all at once. My lights went off. My Wi-Fi went off. My webcam disconnected, and I'm now standing in the stairwell of my apartment building where there's other people in the hallway. And other people, I think, actually had a worse situation than me, because someone was in the shower, washing off, and they came outside in a robe with shampoo in their hair. So I guess I didn't have it worse than everyone else. But the bottom line is, we were totally deceived about who Andrew Cuomo is as a politician, who he was as a political candidate. And this was just a total, full-fledged manipulation of public perception like I have never seen it before. And we need to do a better job of holding media and officials accountable moving forward.
I agree. I think with all these difficulties you're having, I think we should find a way to wrap this all up. So last words from Cozy and Jack, and then we'll see what happens later tonight.
Yeah, I just want to say, people, vote with your heart. Like I've been saying, vote with your heart, vote with your spirit. You can't go wrong. Like I said, you sleep good at night, knowing that you're not a piece of crap, that you're not, you're not going to just bow down to what they're telling you to do. Cuomo is the same person. He's never going to change. He's the abuser. He's the harasser. He's the elderly killer. He's the one who locked you down, muzzled you, wanted to silence you, wanted you out of the state if you didn't agree with his politics. He's not any different. They're just re-robing him and presenting to you as the savior. They're presenting you as the savior, like Cuomo's going to save you from the evil communist. Or they're even saying like the Muslim guy. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. You have Curtis Sliwa, amazing patriot, amazing New Yorker, who's done everything, knows New York in and out. And then you have a guy from half Uganda, half here citizen, a partying, young 30-year-old, never worked in his life. Then you have Andrew Cuomo, who I just told you, the total scumbag. What is this echoing? Oh, it's coming for you. Anyway, what's basically the bottom line is vote Curtis Sliwa and pray to God that he wins, or New York City is going to crumble really bad. So we love you, patriots out there, all you real New Yorkers who are sticking your ground. I'm very proud of you. Don't fall for the propaganda and keep bringing the truth and keep showing people what integrity is. Because at the end of the day, all these cowards on these platforms who have these big microphones, big platforms, the people are going to see who they truly are, total scum. And guess what? They're going to look to you as the leaders, and you are the true leaders. So let's go, people. Let's save New York and save your soul while doing it. Peace out.
How about you,
well
Jack?
said, Cozy. I think that, final thoughts here from the staircase to my build before I go turn my shower back on to let everyone wash off. No, you have to vote for the only sensible candidate that can save New York City, and that is Curtis Sliwa. Don't let anyone tell you that he doesn't have a chance or that you're wasting a vote, because at the end of the day, he speaks to everyone. He speaks to young people like myself who have concerns about affordability and want more favorable policies for big businesses and cutting corporate taxes and all that good stuff. He speaks to the middle generation and he speaks to the older generation. And more importantly, he's the only person that genuinely cares about New York City and has gone to every single neighborhood in the city to prove it. So go out and vote for Curtis Sliwa, vote for the candidate that truly cares about the people, and vote with your head and your heart, not based on what anyone tells you.
Yeah, and I say this, vote for Curtis all the way. I still think it's going to be close. It may not be. I just don't know if the propaganda in the last 24 hours changes anything or not, because, people are fair weather. I'd say it's a lot of them in New York City, low information people. But other than that, I think it's going to be close. Also, I think a couple of other races like the Diaz race or the Arias race or the other people I mentioned, they're going to be close as well.
I forgot Athena Clark too. Shout out to
Athena Clark. Athena Clark's race, we've been pushing her left and right.
She has a great chance of winning.
So that would be another one you pull through. So Athena Clark. So these are other races to watch, and I think stay tuned tonight. Watch the as the votes roll in. I'm like, again, I pray that Curtis wins. I hope this low information bubble, burst and you didn't fall for the oldest trick in the book here with everyone. But we'll see. And look, win, lose, or draw, everyone get out there and vote. There's no excuse. If you have already, great. If you haven't, go out there and vote. Don't make this a low voter turnout like it has been for the last couple voting cycles in New York City. And let's see what happens. Thank you, Cozy, for coming on. Jack, thanks for coming back, because I don't know what happened there. That's crazy that the power went out. And for everyone out there,
Cuomo might have been involved in this somehow. Like, he just decided to knock all my power out as I was ripping into him.
Might be the Florida Young Republicans who love to have Eric Adams over, another fake Republican group that had a Democrat to their party. So with that being said, I'll see you all again on Thursday. We'll go over the results of whatever happens tonight. There's going to be plenty of races that we'll go over, and we'll see how this goes. I'm really pulling for Curtis. He's a friend of mine, and he really, out of the three candidates, he deserves this the most. He campaigned. I don't care what people say. The guy was out there 20 hours a day, shaking hands, going to different neighborhoods, while the other two, one guy was partying and the other guy was hanging out in the Hamptons. So, I mean, that's all you need to know about who you're voting for. So I think 2 million people will be voting, which would be great. That's a big voter turnout. So with that being said, I will see you all on Thursday tonight. Check out the 10-4 Tavern. It's going to be on at 7:05 tonight, 19:05 tomorrow. Find us on Filter to be on in the morning. I don't know if John will be on. He's out in New York City right now campaigning for Curtis as well. So they'll be on at 8 o'clock. And, of course, Executive Perspective at 5:05, 17:05 tomorrow. Everyone will be giving you the election analysis, what went on, what happened, what didn't happen. And I'll be back on Thursday at 1:05 p.m. or 13:05, bringing you all the latest on what occurred and what's the latest politically and in the New York City Police Department. Folks, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Cozy. Thank you, Jack. And I'm signing off from South Florida, where, as you know, it's a sunny place for shady people.
Don't be a Cuomo-sexual. Vote correct.